Passer le pouvoir à un anglophone. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'aventure? Amen, le président.
Hi, happy Sunday, the beautiful people of the Cameroon. This is a party political broadcast by myself, Maître Moulin Alex Ndive Lisinge, the leader of British Cameroon National Party. Today, I've come to talk about the Cameroons and their connection with France. Today, the 14th of July, is the Bastille Day, the National Day of France, the day of freedom, liberty, and fraternity of France. The irony about 14th of July is that governors from Africa, Macron's governors who are in Africa, you know, they call it Francophone African countries. They call themselves president, but I call them their governors. They work for President Macron. Because you understand, most of them are in office because of Macron. They are not there because the people voted for them, the people want them to be president. So they are French governors. They work for the interests of France. I'm sure recently, some of you, most of you, you saw Mr. Macron, rather, went to Chad and installed the son of Idriss Déby, the late president. Then they say, oh, it was election. It was a transitional government. You know, that's what they do. And what they did, it was against the constitution of Chad. So you see, in Africa, constitutions are rubbish. If you look at Britain, USA, and other Western countries, some countries, their constitution have been there for hundreds and hundreds of years. They don't just change constitution like that. But in Africa, they keep on saying, oh, we have the constitution says this, but most African countries, as I coined the phrase, we have a personalized form of government. People rule not in accordance with the law or constitution. They wake up in the morning, they just think about something, they behave like a dear me, they just implement it. That's what they do in most French African countries. Let's go back to the Bastille Day. Most of these French governors in Africa, they have been sending congratulatory messages to President Macron on Bastille Day. The irony is that they don't even know what is Bastille Day. Bastille was one of a very, very maximum security prison in Paris, like Cangate in the Cameroons. So they used to lock up political prisoners in the Bastille. You see, like in the Cameroons, they would take civilians, Anglophones, they have their own law, the English system. They will allege that Anglophones have committed crime, people from British Cameroon. Instead, for La Republique government to try them in Boya or another part of British Cameroon, they take them to this court that was created in France in the 1794. They try them in a military tribunal. That's their system. So we have these institutions that France doesn't use anymore, which are non-functional. Those are the institutions that they keep on using in the Cameroons. The Aijo and Bia, they have been using those institutions. France doesn't use it anymore. So these people, they are saying, Mr. President, Mr. Macron, our God, our Almighty, happy Bastille Day. They Bastille Day means they should kick out dictators. They should storm dictators. That is what Bastille Day means. The people, the commoners, the poor people, they look at what these African dictators in Africa they are doing. You know, in Togo, Eyadema gave it to the son. What happened to the same people in Congo, Brazzaville, the same people in Gabon, Chad, all those countries? It's father to son, or relative. That's how they do it. It's a monarchy in disguise. So these poodles, these French poodles, these French puppets, they keep on saying happy Bastille Day. They don't know Bastille Day was the day of freedom, liberty. So if these Francophone governors, Macron's governors in Africa, if they say happy Bastille Day, it means you should stand up against absolutism. What happened? The Bastille Day, it came about because of the French Revolution. You have what they call the estate system. That's the rich people. They were not paying taxes. They were having luxurious life, like the one you see in most French African countries, the Ali Bongos, the Paul Bias, and all of them. They use taxpayers' money the way they want. They are not accountable to any person. That's what was happening before they stormed the Bastille. You have absolutism, dictatorship. So when they say, congratulations, happy Bastille Day, Mr. Macron, they are telling you that you should kick away dictators. When they stormed the Bastille, it was because of absolutism, dictatorship. The king, because we have monarchy, these governors in Africa, they are monarchy, they pass it to their son. They call themselves president. They are not president. So the people realize that these people who sit there, they think that their power comes from God. They have to be president forever and ever. And if they are not there, they give it to their family member. The people storm the Bastille. So when you say, happy Bastille Day, Macron, you're saying that storm dictators, fight for your liberty. That's what these African dictators they are saying, but they don't even know. Bastille Day came about because people were enlightened. Enlightenment ideas. People had knowledge about freedom. People have knowledge. They say this man sits there for how many years? 10 years, 20 years, 40 years. He says he's the president. This country does not belong to this person. So happy Bastille Day means storm these people who own people's country. A country belongs to everybody, not for one person. So when these African poodles, they are telling President Macron today, the 14th of July, that happy Bastille Day. I don't know if they know the meaning of Bastille Day. The Bastille Day also came about because there was food shortage. You know, we have cost of living. I heard some people, they are talking about now that food is so expensive in Boya. When I was growing up, food was not expensive. I used to plant my own things. Even cocoyams used to grow wild without us planting it in Boya. We used to have our own things, but I see people complaining, why is Boya so expensive now? Because what? The Bastille Day came about because of food shortage, cost of living. People stormed the Bastille. So when these African dictators, they say, happy Bastille Day, they are saying that storm dictators, stop absolutism. That's what they are saying. Then another one again, the American Revolution. When people saw, because the American Revolution, the United Kingdom, Britain, they were running or governing America. But they had no representative in the British Parliament. They started no taxation. If we pay tax, we must have representative. That's how. So the French Revolution, they copy what the Americans they did. That no representation, no tax. Like some of you in Africa, you pay tax. There's no road, there's no hospital, there's nothing. If a government doesn't use money to bring you public services, good hospital, good roads, electricity, water, and light, you don't need to pay that tax. So the American Revolution helped the French when they say no representation, no taxation. So to all of you, when these African leaders or head of state or Macron's governor, when they come and say happy Bastille Day, they mean stop me, kick me out of power. Indirectly, that's what they are saying. They don't even know. They are saying, kick me out because I'm a dictator. So we have that enlightened ideas today in most African countries, including the Cameroons. Every day people complain. Capital Yaoundé, Douala, other sides of the Cameroons. We don't have electricity. You're waiting for who? You're waiting for God to come and give you electricity? Ask the government, why are you paying that taxes? When there's no water, you're waiting for who to give you that water? Today, people sit and they pray for divine intervention. Let God come from heaven and save us. When I was in the Cameroons, there was no social media. When the government of Mr. Biya wanted to assimilate our educational system, we walked in the street, we protested. Most of you now, some of you are in the parliament, or the National Assembly, the Cameroons today. We fought for it. You're enjoying it. GCE board, we fought for it. You're enjoying it. Boya University, we fought for it. You're enjoying it. Regional Assembly, we fought for it. You are enjoying it. You sit there and accept everything. The streets are dirty. None of you, you don't even complain. You sit there, you wait for divine intervention. How can you be slave in your own country? There's nothing wrong to tell Mr. Biya, to tell the unelected governor, to tell the unelected DO and SDO, whoever, or the senators and the members of the National Assembly. There's nothing wrong to tell them that my streets are dirty. We don't have light, we need light, I'm paying tax. It's your right. It's your right. If the government is not doing the right thing, stand up. I'm not saying that you should take arms. Stand up means do what Maitre Mola Alex Lissinger used to do when he was in Cameroon. I'm paying you my money for you to give me light, to give me water, to give hospital and road. That is what, Mr. Government, what are you doing with my money? You must ask that question. Nobody will kill you in the Cameroons for saying, I don't have light, for protesting peacefully that I don't have water. Nobody will do that. If there was, when there was no social media, they could kill us at any time in those days, but I was protesting. Stop that excuses. Stop the excuses. What I'm saying now is constitutional. It is your right to ask the government. I'm not asking you to take up arms. I am saying, tell the government, what are you doing with our taxes? It is your constitutional right to have electricity, water, good roads, good hospital. That is why you pay taxes. And if the government doesn't use your money for these taxes, don't pay. No police officer, no military person have got the right to arrest you because the government is not carrying out its constitutional functions to maintain law and order, to enforce laws, to assist economically and socially. The government is not doing it. You cannot accept a government that keep on embezzling taxpayers' money. It's not a government. If you steal taxpayers' money, you are a criminal syndicate. You are not a government. The next point I want to talk after the Bastille Day. How many of you, to be honest, knows that La Republique du Cameroun doesn't have a parliament? How many of you know that? They don't have a parliament. They have what we call National Assembly. National Assembly is different from a parliament. British Cameroon, under Dr. Endeli, John Foncha, and the rest, they had a parliament. A parliament is a legislative body with what? 2 houses. Like in the United Kingdom, we have a parliament. You have 2 houses. You have the House of Commons and the House of Lords. That is a parliament. And what is the main function of a parliament? To draft law. It is a legislative body. That's a parliament. But let me shock you, most of you. Most people think National Assembly is the same as parliament. No. National Assembly is a French thing. It was created after the French Revolution. That was National Assembly. The National Assembly in France operated or was functional between 17th of June 1789 and 9th of July 1789. The aim of the National Assembly in France was to draft a constitution. It was not a legislative body. When the Third Estate, the commoners, they defeated these dictators, the First Estate, the Second Estate, the commoners were the Third Estate. They created a National Assembly to draft a constitution. That was the aim of the National Assembly, to draft a constitution. It was not a legislative body. France today have changed that. But La République keep on copying things that France had in 1789. That's what we have in Cameroon. That's why they call it rubber stamp parliament. A to do we sit and decide on something. Okay, let's push forward the parliamentary election. Have you ever seen something that comes out from A to D, the objective inside the National Assembly? No. Anything that goes there must pass because it is not a legislative body. They just fool you. It's not a legislative body. They go there to collect their money. A legislative body is like you going to work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. That's how parliament they operate. You know, it's not like in the Cameroon's National Assembly, you go there why? Is it twice a month? You go there twice. That's not a legislative body. Legislative body is 9 to 5 job. You go there every day to make laws, to change laws. Okay, today, you saw what happened in America. An attempted assassination of President Trump. Now, the legislative body in America, now they have to meet. Both houses. They want to talk about more security for President Biden, presidential candidate. That is how a legislative body functions. Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, every day. Even it can operate during the weekend if it's emergency. It can continue until 5 a.m. in the next morning if it is an emergency. That's a legislative body. So a National Assembly. France have changed it now. The National Assembly that was created in France, which was because of the French Revolution, was to draft a constitution. It's not like in Cameroon, 1 or 2 people, they sit and draft constitution. No, you call everybody in the country. When I mean majority from different background, ethnicity to draft it. And the National Assembly of France was changed, was replaced on the 30th of September, 1791. The National Assembly of France was replaced on the 30th of September, 1791. That date, that's the same date that they created Gendarmerie Nationale in France. By what? By a legislative body. The original National Assembly was to draft constitution. That's what you call National Assembly. France later changed it to a legislative body now, which they behave to. You have parliament, you have 2 chambers, you go there, you decide, you make laws. So France have changed. We are using the old system of National Assembly, which we did not have a revolution to sit like France to have a National Assembly. So that's the mistake we are making. A parliament have to use a government to raise tax or money. A parliament elects the prime minister. Recently you saw South Africa have got a presidential system. You saw the parliament have to, they elected the president of South Africa. Because you have been voted, it doesn't matter. You still have to go to the parliament so that they should approve who should be the president. We saw that recently in South Africa. Have you ever seen the elect Mr. Biya? Has Mr. Biya ever gone to a parliament to sit there so that they should approve. Even if you're a president, like the one in South Africa, if it's prime minister, they have to approve it. Have you ever seen that? No, because it's a national assembly. A national assembly was created to draft a constitution in France. And it lasted from 17th of June 1789 to 9th of July 1789. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope what I've said today will be helpful and you think about it. This, once more, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the leader of British Cameroon National Party. I hope you think about these things. It's important that whatever we are doing, when we are doing something, we should think, we should understand what we are doing. Because if you just stand, you fight La République without understanding the institution, it's better off that we tell La République, the reason we are against you is because of you are using a national assembly which is not a legislative body. The reason we are against you, La République, is because the National Assembly was founded or created in La République du Cameroun on the 10th of April, 1960. British Cameroon was not part of it. We should make these things clear. When you just come and say, I want independence, I want this, you cannot convince everybody, especially my friends in La République du Cameroun, because I'll tell you, 85% of people in La République du Cameroun, Francophones, they support what I am doing. But if you just come and talk independence, you cannot justify it. For those of you who study literature, you did characterization. When you say this person is good, you have to back it. You have to say why the person is good or bad. That's characterization in literature. So when you say you want independence or you want federalism or you want everything, come and back it, justify it with facts, history, and why we think we are being marginalized. So this is how we do it in British Cameroon National Party. We don't just talk, we give example and we make sure we convince people on what we are saying. So ladies and gentlemen, have a great Sunday and join me in wishing England to play well and to bring the trophy. Let football come home in England, British Cameroon. Because to me, I have that feeling. I feel more British because we are British Cameroonians. Why? Britain created that English part of the Cameroons. Our values are similar. Democracy, rule of law, individual liberty, tolerance and respect. So I feel more English than La République du Cameroun, France, where they have absolutism, dictatorship, unelected governor, unelected DO, SDO, parliament that is, it is what? Rubber stamp parliament. People don't debate about your life. Chop people their money. They keep on changing their name from what? What was their other name? CNU. Aijo left, they changed the name to what? CPDM. After next year, next presidential election, they want to change their name again. The same people keep on changing their name. If Peter changes his name from Peter to John, it's the same person. So ladies and gentlemen, have a great Sunday. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to come and talk to all of you.
Un pauvre qui vote ou celui qui l'a rendu pauvre. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'étranger? C'est le président. À l'Assemblée, il y a un vieux. Vraiment. Au Sénat, il y a un vieux. Wonderful. À la présidence, il y a un vieux. Dans tout le gouvernement, il y a que des vieux. Des vieux.